Prolapsed asshole.
All right.
Wait, what?
Hey, what's up? Yeah.
He already said. He said that the tomato is the prolapsed asshole,
Okay, that's what I thought.
which our fans are hearing us say now because I turned this on and John walked off. God damn it! Oh boy.
Oh, God, why did nobody tell me about this?
What about?
No, not about prolapsed assholes. No.
Yeah, that's usually the thing that'll get me to turn a video off. I just can't handle. That's just. Ugh. I don't want that.
no. I was
prolapse assholes, please.
no. I'm trying to
Please.
get away from that. I was referring instead to. I saw a thing posted about the Sinister Syndicate. It's a new version of the Sinister Six that's all female, and it includes Lady Octopus and the White Rabbit. It's like, what the fuck? Why am I just hearing about this?
That sounds cool.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I got us on and running, and I am ready to start recording whenever you guys are.
Yes.
All right. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune!
Oh, yeah. What is going on, everybody? It is Game That Tune back in the motherfucking house. It is your boy John Harrington here, and I got alongside me my nefarious co-host, Mr. David Fleming. David, say hey.
Hey,
Yeah, man. It's you and me tonight, buddy. We got a great show coming up for him, don't we?
we do indeed.
Tell him what's going on, David.
So this is August Absurdity round 2. We have done we've had our initial seeding round. So
Yes, we spread our seed.
this
And
is
now
technically round 2, officially round 1. Where
week 2, round 1. Yeah, whatever. The numbers don't matter.
Absurd.
Yes.
it is absurd.
Man.
Johnny, you're gonna
We got-
play How Absurd or
Oh, hey, yeah. Do I have that? No,
Hot take.
I don't think I.
that's our
Absurd!
Yeah, that's on.
that's
John's
our hot
soundboard.
take. August Absurdity is absurd, people.
Yes, thanks. Yeah, it's August Absurdity, people. It's our annual head-to-head tournament in which we take the game seriously and try and win the August Absurdity crown from one another. And it's the first head-to-head round tonight. So we've got the reigning champion, John Regan, and we've got the challenger, Jessie Moore. So if either of you guys have something to say, I'm just going to let you have the floor for a little while.
Johnny, go.
Oh man! All right. Well, listen, guys. I'm here to win. I said before, I am not good at confrontation, but I'm good at winning. Over the past year, I've been working on my confrontation skills, and so I'm here to say, "Fuck you, Jessie. I'm gonna win," and also, "Fuck everybody. I'm gonna win." That's my motto. I'm gonna win. I got it tattooed on the dick. That's how it assure that I'm gonna win this year's August Absurdity. The crown is gonna it's mine, and it's gonna stay mine for another year because I am here. I'm John Regan. I'm in it to win it. I am not fucking around. That's the end of my promo and transmission.
I have no questions for that.
It's a pretty bold strategy. Let's see how it works out for him.
Yeah. Well, last week didn't go quite like as I planned. I predicted I was going to win. I didn't. However, luck still shined upon me as the Chicago Rattlesnake David decided to take on the most electrifying man in VGM podcast history, John. which this leaves the king of absurdity to me. Johnny, that last loss last week motivated me. And unfortunately for you, I've been busy this past week. Not only did I listen to 1,000 video game soundtracks, I listened to 1,004, and I wrote them all down, and I'd like to list them off for you.
Oh shit! Here it comes.
Game 1, 1080 snowboarding. Game 2, 1942.
Oh man, this is serious business.
Game 3, 50 Cent, Blood in the Sand.
Get comfy,
They're all
folks.
bound
We'll
to come
be here
up
a
tonight.
while.
Game 4, Montreal City Planner Simulator.
So Jesse's clearly more prepared than Johnny. He's playing the big times
Game
tonight.
5,
Man.
A Boy and His Blob.
Oh man,
Game
we got
6,
we don't have 1,000 games tonight. We
A
got
Hat
5
in
fantastic
Time.
games.
Game 7, 1942.
So me and David chose 4 of the games. We got a great fan request in here tonight. I think we're going to put Johnny and Jesse through the paces.
Game 8, Ace Combat 2.
And I think if if we can't stop Jesse from reading this list, then I think we kind of just got to get
Game
started.
9,
with the show.
Body Harvest.
We have one more thing, a late addition that I'm bringing to this August absurdity. I asked for
Game
people
10, Terry Bradshaw Simulator.
I asked for people to make predictions on how this is going to go tonight. We actually got one in, and I'm going to play it for you guys now.
To the new GTT voicemail.
The new GTT voicemail.
All right. Well, this is Lance. I was supposedly told that I need to call in and predict the events of tonight's match. So I am going to guess that in Game 1, we'll have Johnny doing Zangief's double lariat, in which Jesse will respond by doing Mike Hagar's double lariat. They'll meet in the middle and knock each other out. So that's a tie for that one. For Game 2, Johnny will hire a cat to distract both the referee and Jesse. And while Jesse's back is turned, he'll do a low blow, giving him the advantage. In Game 3, Jesse's going to respond by doing a Hurricanrana, because why not? In Game 4, I have a feeling that both of them will try and get up on the turnbuckle, and they'll end up knocking each other over onto the announcer's table. There'll be a lot of screaming and yelling, because, of course. And then for Game 5, they will get back up into the ring on opposite sides of the ring, and they will end up running towards each other and do a double clothesline to knock each other down. And then afterwards, the lights will go out, and then you'll hear lightning round, and then there'll be a lightning round. That's my predictions for tonight. Okay, bye.
Yes, that's right. You can now be leaving Game That Tune messages. So, more information on you getting our phone number coming soon on Game That Tune.
Game 567, Clash at Demon Head.
Oh, jeez.
Game 568, 1942.
He read so many games during that message.
Oh,
that's
God,
speed reader, baby.
Game
yeah, so
1.
there we go. Keep it going.
Any day now.
Oh.
We must have gotten them flipped.
Uh-oh.
I wanted... is that labeled Game 2?
Yes, it is.
Son of a bitch. Okay, flip them. Play my other game.
All right, gotcha.
Yes, absurd.
How absurd.
Good start.
Keeping you on your toes.
Game 1.
There we go. right, guys. This game features 103 playable levels and had another 23 levels coded that were unused. Due to the game's length, it was considered for a time to be one of the hardest games ever. All right, guys. How are you feeling?
Man, how many levels did you say that game had?
103 playable levels with
Jesus.
23 unused programmed levels.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Ooh. Johnny says Lemmings, which is incorrect. And Jesse Moore has the correct answer. This is Kid Chameleon.
Hell yeah.
Well done, sir. Jesse's on the board first.
I will say that soundtrack sounded very Toe Jam and Earl.
It did.
Yep. I was trying to find a fun Genesis soundtrack, and I'm like, oh, yeah, what's this Kid Chameleon game? That game, it seems like it's fun. And then I'm like, oh, it also sounds a lot like Toe Jam and Earl, and I bet that will confuse them.
Tricky.
Yeah, man, it's August Absurdity. It's the time for the tricky. But yeah, this game. Did either of you guys ever play this? You Sega Legends, you?
Yeah, I've played it, and I don't really. I'm not very fond of it, to be honest with you.
What, too hard for you? This legendarily hard old game?
Maybe that might be it, but it just I don't know. I just remember being clunky as hell. Like the power ups are kind of confusing, and I don't know. You just die too easy, or it's I don't know. It's dumb.
I don't know, man. What's confusing about a kid who goes into a VR world and wears a series of different helmets? I don't see what's so difficult to follow about that. You get power ups based on different things. You put a helmet on, you're a different thing. And it's
so it's
entirely.
it's not like a virtual Bart situation where you're playing all these different weird mini games. It's you are constantly changing your VR helmet around. I've never played this game, so I have no idea what this is.
It'd be pretty great if it was somehow a virtual Bart situation with 103 different mini games.
Oh my god, that'd be terrible.
They did everything.
I do think it's interesting that like an old school retro platformer is like, oh, it's really weird and it's kind of confusing. You know, you get beamed into this virtual world and get different helmet that give you abilities. Meanwhile, another game in the same time frame where you star as a guy transplanted to a magical kingdom where you grab a leaf and turn into a raccoon. That makes perfect sense.
He's a plumber.
Right, exactly. That's just life being a plumber.
You got
It's like
a blue collar.
It's like the more they tried to make it make more sense, the less sense it made.
Yes, that's a good description of most video games, but definitely in the case of Kid Chameleon. So yeah, you're a kid who I guess gets like sucked into a VR world because I guess it's maybe the not too distant future, and people are being like abducted into a VR game. So you got to go in there and save them. I don't know, but you start out and you're this kid, like just some fucking kid in blue jeans and like a white T-shirt. And it's like, all right, yeah, this kid clearly needs to like get bigger and get some power ups. So you get some helmets that let you do different things. You get like a knight helmet and like a samurai helmet and like a fucking, I think you get like a Jason mask.
Ooh.
Yeah, it turns you into like a Jason type guy with an axe. You get to drive a tank. At some point, you turn into a tornado. All kinds of crazy shit happens in this game. But yeah, from Jessie's assessment and from everything I've read about this, I don't think it's fun. Like, I think it's really hard and brutally long, and it's it's like, man, what the fuck? Like, why would they make this game so long? Like, was this one of those things where it was like, they wanted to make games that people would buy and not rent? So it's like nobody will ever finish 103 levels in 3 to 5 days. So we better better just load this thing up and it'll be good. It wasn't, but it seems charming. It seems intriguing. Like maybe it's due for a remake, or maybe it went on to influence other games. Like people played this game and they were like, I like the basis of it, transformations, kids in magical worlds, but this game fucking sucks. Like,
I bet for its time it was probably pretty cool, but then it just probably games got way better.
Yep, I think that's probably true.
Playing this back in, I'm gonna guess 1992, like this game was amazing, but going back to play it now, like it's probably pretty rough.
Yeah. But it's cool. It was made by Sega Technical Institute, so it was Sega's like USA branch just going nuts all over a game.
Okay, this makes sense now.
That explains the lack of whimsy.
Right. They're in a drop of whimsy in this game, baby. You put on helmets and turn into murderers.
It's a very drab color palette in the game. Yeah,
which is unusual for Sega. Usually it's fantastical colors. And like I said, like you start as the kid, you're wearing jeans and a white T-shirt. Like that's all you got for me.
You're a greaser,
Yeah. Can't see the little pack of cigarettes rolled up in the sleeve, but they're there.
Kid Chameleon was in that deleted scene of Outsiders.
Yep. Yeah, it's on that rare DVD, but it's there.
No, it's like that's what the American programmers were thinking. It's like, what do kids want to respond to? Vaguely strong masculine symbols from the 1950s. That's what's going to sell games.
That also goes a long way towards explaining the cover of the game, which is, a rad-ass kid wearing a leather jacket and sunglasses, skateboarding directly into the, towards you with all the, like, helmet powers right behind him. Like, yep, this is the most radical game that ever existed. They did it.
I was kind of like, I'm going to have to try playing this because, like, when the list for the Sega Genesis Mini came out, I think this was on it, and I was kind of surprised. Like, what the, like, who the fuck played this game?
Yeah.
But I guess now a lot of people get a chance to play it again.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be rediscovered, and everybody's going to love it.
It's going to be everyone's number one game on their Sega Genesis Mini.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it, it reminds me in a lot of ways of something like Plock. Clearly just like big levels, not necessarily clear on what your objective is, like, a bunch of weird powers that you probably aren't very well schooled on throughout the game. And, a cool soundtrack and like elements that are charming, but does it come together as a whole package? I don't know that it does. So, we're all just going to have to bust out our new Sega Genesis Minis and, see how we feel about Kid Chameleon in 2019.
How many VR power-ups are there in this game?
I believe there are 9 different helmets, all of which give you a different power.
And there's 109 levels.
103, yeah.
103 levels. I feel like this is not a good level to power up ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kirby's
basically one helmet per 10 levels.
like Kirby's
Right.
Adventure had how many levels? Like nowhere near that many, and it had 20 power ups.
Yeah, exactly. And like, think about like Super Mario Bros. 3, as David brought up. Like, they have nice short levels. You know, there's a good number of them. Some power ups come in for one level and go away, like the shoe. You know, they find new ways to use the power ups creatively in other levels.
You can skip
like,
around a little bit.
9 fucking power ups to get you through 103 levels. Yeah, that does not divide well. Like, that's you're gonna get tired of all of these.
Does it have a
and that's
save
setting
system?
aside the fact that the game's probably really fucking hard too. Like, so
Yeah, my number one question is, can you save your game, or do you have to start all over every single time and try to beat all 109 levels in one go? 103
see,
levels.
maybe that's why it's also legendarily hard. Maybe it's a Fester's Quest situation.
Could you imagine you're on level 100 and you die, and you're like, I had 3 to go. Fuck.
Yeah. See, it's funny too, because like I was confused by it. I looked up like a video of this beforehand. Usually, when you look up like a full playthrough of an SNES or Genesis era like non-RPG game, it's like maybe 50 minutes to an hour tops. And this one was like over 2 hours. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like, what the fuck? I'm just like skipping around. I'm like, now he's a samurai. Now he's a cyclone. Now he's driving a tank. What the fuck is going on in this game? Soundtrack's good though.
You go and cook dinner, you come back, it's like, he's still playing?
Yeah.
What?
Level what now? Yeah, and he's a kid? Is he but he's not a chameleon. He's just a kid.
The Genesis can count past 99? This is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the other thing is that, you know, it probably confused a lot of people because, you know, the animal mascots were a thing back then. You call this game Kid Chameleon, it's like, all right, fuck yeah, I got lizard powers, you know, a little tongue action. You know, it's a prequel to Chameleon Twist, and
I
it's
can
like,
see
actually,
it
no,
two directions at once.
you're just a kid. Yeah. It's like, what's the chameleon aspect? Well, it's helmets. It's like, so you should have called this game Kid Helmet. Like, or, you know, I don't know, like VR Kid.
Yeah,
or
Kid Helmet
Wild Style.
Kid Helmet just sounds like a product you find at the bicycle store.
Yeah, I know. That's why they went with Kid Chameleon, to confuse children into buying this rad ass game.
Now I'm imagining like a 90s platformer where you play as an actual chameleon, and it's basically like Castlevania with the whip motion, but you can climb up walls. And that sounds like a far better game.
Yeah, you know, tongue instead of a whip, wall climbing, you know, maybe even some helmets. Just saying, there could be helmets. You know, you get a little something on your chameleon horn to give you a power up. Like, it's a good idea. But anyway, yeah, this game, it looks cool. And Johnny, I think you have to play it. I want to see you stream all 103 levels of this, or just see how far you get into it before you get like furious and just go play a fucking like bizarre ROM hack, as you do on most streams. So
We're gonna play Squid Chameleon. It's Splatoon mixed with Kid Chameleon.
don't
I'd play
give
it.
David that big of a boner. But anyway, yeah. So this game's cool, and I guess we just got to keep going to the next game. Jessie's got a lead. Let's see what's happening, man.
Game 2.
The Japanese box art for this game includes an image of a character that was removed for releases overseas. Who's got those guesses? I have an additional piece of trivia if you feel. Oh, shit. Okay. So, Jessie says The Goonies Part 2. And John Regan says Goonies 2, fuck this game. Both are correct.
Hey, you guys.
So I was going to.
Somebody had to say it. I'm glad it wasn't me.
I was going to immediately delve into a discussion of the finer points of this game, but instead I'm going to sidetrack that just to ask one question. John, would you explain your subtitle, please?
Fuck this game.
Yeah, no, we got that. Can you explain that?
That's not the subtitle of Goonies.
So, one, it was always very confusing because as far as I know, there hasn't been a Goonies 2 movie. So I never quite understood why they made a Goonies 2 game. Two, what happened to the Goonies 1 video game, right? Because, like, we just went straight to Goonies 2. So is this game the sequel to the movie? Is that how that works?
Dude, it's a fucking multimedia franchise, and this is the official sequel to the Goonies.
See, now I'm
The
glad.
first one released in Japan only, I think.
I was going to say, now I'm glad that I didn't go with the trivia of, despite the game's name, this is the first game released in America, because there was a Goonies game, and it was released in Japan, and then they released the sequel here, but it has nothing to do with the Goonies 2 sequel / reboot that is apparently in production, and I almost pulled trivia from based on that movie.
Wait, did they decide they were going to do that finally? That seems like a bad idea.
Allegedly, I don't know if it's actually in production, but
seems like kind of bullshit that Sean Astin probably just puts on his Instagram, and it's not true at all. Like,
You know, Corey Feldman hopes it's true.
that's it. Yeah,
well,
Corey
because
Feldman's more
Corey
pathetic
Feldman's
than Sean
hoping
Astin.
for work.
But no, John, the subtitle of Goonies 2 is not fuck this game. It is, in fact, the Goonies 2 Fratelli Saigo no Chosen. So, get it right, man.
That explains everything.
Yeah, I love a Japanese
translate-
title that includes the word Fratelli.
I was gonna say, which translates to the Goonies 2, the Fratelli's Last Stand.
God, that's great.
Although,
Did they die? That sounds fun.
Yeah, the Goonies finally kill those awful Fratellis.
I wanted to bring up, so relating to the trivia, the one character who was included on the Japanese box art and not the international releases is Data. So that's racist?
Why?
'Cause
That's
Japan was like, we're going to include the one Asian character. And then the rest of the world's like, nah, take him out. That's fine.
what the hell? He's
they-
one of the best characters. He's
they-
got the gadgets.
Did they replace him or something? Or, like, is he just gone?
No,
put him in black
I've looked at
suit.
like comparisons of the box art, and they literally just kind of like cut him out of the box art.
What the hell?
Those fucking
That's fucked up.
industrial strength teeth that could freaking hold on to shit, and like
Yeah.
he had some fucking gadgets, man. Fucking Inspector Gadget, Data was the fucking man.
Yeah. I would have thought they would have cut Sloth off, versus anybody else. I don't know. Sloth's just weird and off-putting. And have we got it? Is his name Sloth Fratelli?
I assume
Is
so.
he like a blood relative, or did they
I don't know.
adopt him, or We need a sloth origin story.
Dude,
Oh.
Goonies Origins Sloth is a movie that needs to happen.
Well,
That's what they need to
Baby
make.
Ruth?
I always thought it took place sometime after that movie. What's it called? Mask.
Oh,
Okay.
oh.
Game
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. Same universe, but the prosthetic work was slightly better. But yeah, so no, I never played Goonies 2. It seems like the Goonies is a good game, a good movie to make into a game, though, right? Like
Yeah, classic
treasure
adventure.
hunting, caves, kids. I mean, it's all fun.
So yeah, apparently the original game was very just like strict linear action platformer. Goonies 2 is much more Metroidvania. So
No,
like
fuck that.
there are multiple like areas to explore rather than just sequential levels. And what was interesting was you could go into like doorways that would transport you to other parts of the level. But when you went into the doorway, it took like a first person perspective and you would
Oh.
meet like non-playable characters that you could talk to. And one of them was apparently Konami Man, who was like a mascot character in Japan that didn't really like catch on in America. So you just like, as you're playing this Goonies 2 game, already you're confused because it's not the Goonies game, it's the Goonies 2. And then you go into this doorway and you meet this like Japanese superhero.
It's me, Konami Man. We gotta stop those awful fratellis. What is happening? They murdered my family. Konami Man's a dark and edgy superhero. What?
Oh god, I can't wait for Konami Man's introduction to the boys.
Uh, yeah, I didn't know about Konami Man at all. I was just reading the little like wiki entry on it, and it's like, Mikey must capture his 6 friends who have been kidnapped by the Fratellis, and inexplicably free a captured mermaid named Annie who never appeared in any other Goonies materials. I'm like, what? So it's Goonies and mermaids? Hell yeah.
And that's one of the things that confused me because I was going back like in preparation for this episode, like watching retro reviews and like all that kind of stuff about this game. And there were a lot of people are really hung up on this mermaid. It's like, what does this mermaid have to do with the Goonies? Like, didn't they find like a pirate treasure underground? A mermaid could be there. Let's be real here.
Far-fetched, David. Yeah. Come
They
on.
didn't find a mermaid pirate treasure. They just found a pirate treasure from like regular men.
We've all heard of pirates and we've heard of treasures, but have we ever heard of a mermaid pirate treasure? I mean, it's a little much.
Wink, wink.
God,
I
I,
mean,
haven't
when it-
played that game.
When it comes to
Mermaid
like
pirate treasure.
when
Yeah.
it comes to like nautical myths, pirate treasure and mermaid are like neck and neck for the top spot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well,
And where does Konami Man fit into all this?
I
He's like
disagree.
bottom 10.
I feel like pirate treasure is pretty believable. Mermaids are just the result of drunk people seeing manatees, right? Like, I feel like that pirate treasure.
Are you
could-
trying to say that you'd fuck a manatee?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a given.
I've
But
been trying to steer this conversation away from fucking sea life, but here we are. Um,
But
How absurd!
I feel like pirate treasure could be real. Like, you could find something buried in the sand, and there's pirate treasure. Like,
yeah, it's well known that pirate treasure is real. There's shipwrecks, there's treasure, there's gold doubloons, pieces of 8. Yeah,
I like that we're
but
discussing like nautical myths, and you're like, well, let's discuss the believability of this. Like, they're myths; they're not supposed to be believable. Like, yeah, I could imagine the Kraken at the ocean's depth. That doesn't mean it's actually a thing.
Ooh.
No, there actually are giant squid.
Well, yeah, I know, but they're not like boat crushing size.
Oh,
I don't
they
know,
are.
man. Can you
They
prove it?
fucking fight sperm whales all the goddamn time.
Mm-hmm. I was just watching this documentary the other day about like these 17 giant creatures that are living in different locations all over the earth. And this company, they were trying to like revive them and stuff. Some of them live under the ocean. You're saying those are myths?
Basically, what I'm saying is, why isn't Godzilla a nautical myth? I mean, he's buried under the ocean, awoken up. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
Godzilla should fuck up some pirates and rescue
he-
treasure.
he's just the Japanese Kraken, is all he is.
He lives on an island.
It all adds up. Yeah, Godzilla, the ultimate nautical myth.
Everyone has an undersea monster, and it's just their take on it. That's all it is.
Everybody knows where Godzilla came from. Some drunk sailors saw a manatee, and they're like, "I swear to God, that was Godzilla." Like, really? Yeah, it was him, all right.
No, see,
like,
that
man,
was
I fucked him.
Godzilla came from the one sober guy. Everyone's like, yeah, I pretty much fucked that manatee. And then the designated like driver of the ship was like, no, you can't fuck that. That's a giant nuclear lizard monster that's gonna rise from the ocean and stop Japan. But this is back in 1885, so they're like, what's Japan?
Right. Yeah.
Not
You
my
fucked a 500
problem.
foot tall lizard monster? Yeah, I did. What of it?
And it was good.
Anyway, none of that really comes up in the Goonies 2.
Can you play
Man,
a
I
Cyndi
hope
Lauper?
it comes up in the movie The Goonies 2, though. Like, we got some great ideas here.
Yeah.
See, that's what we need to do. We just need to fold Goonies 2 into the new like King of the Monsters universe. So Godzilla versus King Kong versus the Goonies
Godzilla versus
Sloth.
They'd be so much more entertaining than the humans that were in that Godzilla movie I watched. It's like, why can't these just be kids who are going like, "Wah!" instead of, a bunch of fucking adults who all have ulterior motives for Godzilla and King Ghidorah? Come on. Yeah.
So basically what
I
you're
really
saying
want
is
to see
like
Godzilla versus Mecha Sloth. That'd be great.
Sloth
it's-
Jaguar.
Yeah, it's a situation where he can like grow really big.
Oh yeah, I'd watch it. Mecha Sloth, give him the rocky road.
No, see, the secret is then they're going to do Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla, and then his head pops off, and it's Data piloting Mecha Godzilla.
See, he could do it, man. That kid is great. That's right on, man.
Slick shoes.
Slick shoes, and I'm Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla. Look at me. I know we need to find this treasure. Nuclear breath.
I love spoiler at the end whenever he runs up to his dad, and his dad has all those cameras and stuff too.
Yep.
And they all look. They're like, oh, they're just the same.
Nerd dads. Anyway, Goonies rules. I hope the movie sequel isn't really a thing. David, you picked this. Anything else on Goonies 2?
No, it's a surprisingly difficult but enjoyable NES Metroidvania game, and it's got an awesome soundtrack.
It does have an awesome soundtrack. Yeah, I forgot to say, I don't want to play it because it's an NES Metroidvania game, and those are all notoriously difficult. So, maybe can we get like Way Forward or someone working on a Goonies 2 remaster? Like, let's bring these up to date. Let's get the Goonies platform series going again. But in the meantime, let's.
Actually, I want to double check one thing.
Can you play as Cyndi Lauper?
Ooh,
Sadly,
good question.
No. Although
she would
that
have
was
to be on the new soundtrack.
that was one thing I did want to double check. So the composer for this game, speaking of the soundtrack, is Satoe Terashima, who is well known for being the woman who composed Vampire Killer in the original Castlevania.
Strong resume.
That's awesome.
It's like, all right, yeah, Vampire Killer is dope. You can have, I don't know, Goonies 2. Like the whole game, just on the strength of that one, composition. Done. So, hell yeah, man. Let's keep it going to the next game.
Game 3.
right, guys. This game's story was designed to be comedic up to the point that the player starts liking the characters and then develop its drama. In an interview explaining this, the director of the game compared his approach to American TV series such as Beverly Hills 90210 and Glee. All right, guys. How are we feeling on this?
Pretty good.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this is our fan request for the evening before you guys reveal your answers. I want to thank our requester, Ray Anus. That can't be right.
Whoa.
Rayanus, something to that effect. They're in the Discord and they requested this game. So Johnny says Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is incorrect. And Jesse has the correct answer. It's Bravely Default. Hell yeah. Johnny, I can't believe you didn't get this right, man. What the fuck? Bravely Default.
I've played all the Bravely Default games.
Such as?
Bravely Default 1, which was a bold move putting 1 in the title of the first game. Bravely Default 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Okay.
Bravely Default 3 goes to LA.
Okay. Any more?
No.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought.
I am actually surprised because I thought you had played this, Johnny. I mean, this was a huge game on the 3DS. You have a 3DS, right?
Yeah.
We've been over this
You have a
And
lot
you
of
have
3DS.
a 3DS, right?
I have a
Yeah.
3DS. I have 4 games.
And Bravely Default is how many of the 4?
5.
Okay. Interesting.
Doesn't quite add up.
I don't
Yeah.
abide by normal physics in my house.
This 3DS doesn't obey the laws of physics at all.
You walk in my house, pants come off, physics go out the window. It's a crazy time.
Okay, cool. So I'm never coming to your house. um, but yeah, anyway, I think you'd really like this game, John. It seems right up your alley in a number of ways.
Go on.
It is an RPG for the
Okay.
Nintendo 3DS.
Okay, good.
It's a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy IV, a game in your favorite series of all time.
I love Final Fantasy IV. I've played the unofficial fan translation of it.
Okay, now.
Interesting that there's an unofficial fan translation for a game that was released in America.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
Johnny prefers the unofficial version.
because the American version was toned down, like they dropped swear words and things like that.
In Final
Right.
Fantasy, it was called Final Fantasy 2.
Chilling out in milk bars.
Yeah.
So he
Like-
had the one with the cool title screen that said 4 on it, and everyone
Yeah.
else was playing the big stupid 2. Big number
That's the
2,
unofficial fan
all right.
translation. It changes all 4 or all 2s to 4s.
You meet that sexy young sorceress who's been around for 45 years. Like, wait, what?
And yes, it's got character designs by Akihiko Yoshida, who he was a longtime character designer for Squaresoft, and he designed characters for some of your favorite Final Fantasy games like Tactics and 12 and like Final Fantasy 14, the online one. He was an art director on that. I mean, Johnny, I don't really know why this game isn't completely defining your wheelhouse. Like it's
You should have had this by like note 6 of the first song.
Yeah.
I feel like you've confused him with me.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on, let me check my notes here.
It's funny because like it's half right. Like I did play Final Fantasy 12.
That's
Did
a
you?
good one. 12 is
It's a good game.
Yeah.
Johnny, hold on. You like games with jobs? Yes?
No.
Hang on.
Shit.
Let me double check my notes here for a second. I just want to see one thing. Johnny, your last name is Moore, right?
It used to be.
Right, and
Well,
then you got married. Fuck.
We all signed an agreement before we started the show that would never come up. There's reasons for this.
Right.
Which you can find out on the voicemail.
There's some deep GTT lore back here, people. Johnny's original last name was Deeper, and we'll get into that later.
Really deeper.
Yeah, Johnny Deeper.
Oh, that's my porn
See-
name now.
I was going to say, and I was afraid that I was going to go off the rails by saying, my porn name is Johnny Moore.
I mean, both work. But yeah, nobody's ever called Johnny Moore in his life.
Until now.
So, Jesse, did you play any Bravely Default?
I played a little bit of it. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
What did you think, man?
I thought it was all right. Has a cool job system. I thought. It was a little on the difficult side. You had to grind a whole fucking lot. So yeah, it was
'Cause
a
you
little
were like
grindy.
Because one of the jobs was like you're a mill worker or
no
some
no
other
no.
kind of. Oh,
They're more like magical jobs as opposed to like making money jobs. Although I do believe there was some kind of weird job that lets you use money for your weapons and stuff, which was weird.
Isn't that just called like buying things?
No. Like they
Like
would
using your
throw
money
money.
for weapons.
They would
Yeah.
they would throw money at enemies and stuff.
that's
okay.
probably like
dumb.
the merchant class.
Yeah, something like
They had something like that in Octopath Traveler, which I think is somehow connected to this. Besides being published by SquareSoft in certain places, I think Octopath does have like some same pedigree as Bravely Default. But yeah, the merchant, you could like pay, you could use your money to like just pay other people to come in and hit the enemy. And you had like a collect move where you would snatch from the enemy a certain amount of money. So there were money-based attacks. I imagine it's something like that. But yeah, the game seems cool.
I want there to be an RPG with the class of capitalist where you just like run up and smack the enemy with a sack of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game actually does sound appealing to me because there's times where you literally just throw money at problems, which is my favorite way to fix things. Like, I'll never change my oil, man. I'll just pay somebody to change my oil. Fuck that shit. Like,
yeah, I got a problem. It's that I haven't played Bravely Default. I'm going to throw $30 at that problem. Problem solved. Now I own Bravely Default. Problem is, I don't want to play it. So I'm going to pay someone else to play it. And that's where the expense really starts racking up. That's why we need people to go to Patreon and pay Johnny to play Bravely Default.
No wonder Johnny's the absurd king. He's just sitting on all of his wealth, throwing it at people to solve his problems.
It's got all that Johnny fuck you money. It's ridiculous.
I call him Johnny 1%.
Did we just turn August Absurdity into a class warfare?
Oh, I think we did. And I think Johnny's got to lose this one, man. Yeah.
I'm going to win for the working class.
Yeah, that's my man right there. But yeah, Bravely Default's cool. It's got good music. It's got some cool characters. You got Agnes and someone named Tiz, and I mean, talk about great pun work. There's a guy with amnesia. Who knows the name of that character?
Oh, that's like the
no
main
remember.
character.
I forget. What was the name of that character from that movie where Dana Carvey played a guy with amnesia and he was a detective?
The Master of Disguise.
No, it was a different one.
Clean
Wayne's
Slate.
World 2?
Yes, Clean Slate.
Blank check.
Ring a bell.
It's Ring a Bell, which is a great name for a character with memory problems. So well done, either localization team or whoever came up with that, because that's funny to me. I like Ring a Bell. But yeah, it's a 4-person party RPG. It looks like a lot of fun, different jobs. It uses the 3DS in like nice graphical ways. Like when you're moving around, it's got hand-drawn backgrounds, but like with the 3D slider turned up, like certain parts of them pop out. So it looks real nice. It's cool. I hope it continues going as a series. I guess Nintendo picked up publishing rights for like America for these, so who knows how they've done. But they're nice RPGs with good music. Like that's enough for nerds like us. Not nerds like John, apparently, who just ignore fantastic RPGs for the 3DS with great music. I mean,
Too busy with the fancy oil changes.
Yeah, exactly. Driving a car and getting oil changes and not bringing your 3DS with you when you go. Come on, man.
That 15 minutes. 15 minutes you spend at the Jiffy Lube is 15 minutes you can spend playing Bravely Default.
Yes, that's exactly the reason to have a portable handheld gaming system. I mean, why do you think David plays his games? It doesn't have anything to do with getting an oil change. He's never driven a car in his life, but he brings it with him in case he's got to sit somewhere for a few minutes. Like, that's why you have handhelds.
Casey still has to get oil change for some reason.
I was going to say, I have a 35-minute commute on a train. What do you think I just do? Stare out the window the entire time?
Yeah. Masturbate furiously in front of the other people on the train? No, he plays video games.
I mean, that's Friday on my way back from work.
Yeah,
It's the end of a week,
These things are not exclusive.
If you want to control the game properly, you 2 hands. But
that's what I like about the 3DS. It's got that stylus pad. I can just plop my stylus down and go to town.
Feel the magic.
Oh man, have you ever clamped the 3DS?
No,
Wait,
we're done. Johnny,
David Fleming slamming his dick in a 3DS.
Oh, new shirt idea.
Yeah! So, the main character of this game makes a cameo appearance as an enemy in Kirby Superstar. Who's got their guesses ready?
Or is it an
Oh,
answer?
it's the fucking answer, David.
Oh.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Johnny, let's see that penis drawing.
Yeah, all right. That's the fastest penis drawing I've ever done.
Johnny says a drawing of a penis. Jessie says Adventures of Lolo. Both are sadly incorrect.
What?
This is Tracks for the Nintendo Game Boy.
That's a Game Boy soundtrack? Oh wow. Like I thought that was Nintendo. Wow.
But Lolo is also a boss in Kirby Superstar.
Yeah, but
Correct.
also in Kirby's Adventure, I think, too.
Weird.
Lolo has made appearances in the Kirby series because The Adventures of Lolo was a HAL Laboratories game, if I recall. Tracks was also made by HAL Laboratories, so HAL loves sneaking in their little references. So, when I was looking up that trivia, because I definitely remember seeing Tracks while playing Kirby Superstar and losing my mind, because I'll get to this later, I fucking love Tracks on Game Boy. Apparently, in Kirby Mass Attack, there's like one of the unlockable extra modes. One of the bosses in Tracks makes an appearance. It's like a dragon mech with boxing gloves. Tracks is a weird game. But yeah, this is Tracks for the Game Boy. Has anyone else played this?
Nope.
Didn't think
First
so.
I've heard of it.
See, that's why we're bringing it today. I have had this game in my back pocket for ages because I knew that no one would ever be able to guess this game. This is one of those obscure, random games, but I fucking love this game. So this was a 1991 Game Boy game, and it's basically like a shooter because you play as this cute, adorable little tank, and it's incredibly short. There's 4 levels. Each level gets split up into a mini boss and a boss fight. So there's kind of like technically 8 levels because they're kind of like split up into 2 parts. You know, you get to the mini boss, fight them, and then get to the final boss. It's pretty easy. You can beat this game in like 20 minutes, but
Nice. That's my kind of game.
I
One
distinctly remember.
trip to Jiffy Lube is my limit on how long a game should take for me to beat.
But is it
But-
hard? I mean, is the game
No.
hard?
No,
Yeah, of course
not at all. It's a very easy game. It's a HAL game. Like,
Johnny wants a really hard game that he can beat in the waiting room at Jiffy Lube.
but I had a lot of fun memories with this game, and I remember getting this game because my mom and I were at Target, and I had saw this game and picked it up because the box art looks cool because it has this tank like bursting like over a ledge with an explosion behind it. It's like, oh, this game looks fun. And my mom kind of saw me looking at it. It's like, oh, you like this game? Does this look good? throw it in the cart. We'll get it. And
Damn.
I was born a poor black child in Alabama. Like I got games. It's a reference. It's a reference to the Steve
Jerk.
Martin movie, The Jerk. Like,
I know it is. I just want you to say that before you continue.
which was also made like a long time ago.
So like we've discussed on the show.
Canceled.
We've discussed on the show before. Like I didn't have money growing up, so I basically got games at Christmas and my birthday, and that's it. So like to randomly get a new Game Boy game, like that was a huge deal.
No, that's
so
baller.
I played the fuck out of this game.
Yeah, no, I can't think. There actually no. If we're doing just parental moments of generosity, there was when me and my brother we really wanted the first Mortal Kombat for SNES, and my mom was holding out on us because she really didn't want a violent game, and she finally, I guess, found out that the SNES one didn't have the blood, and therefore she deemed it okay for us. So we came home from school one day. And she's like, all right, guys, do your homework, and then I've got something for you. And she just like produces Mortal Kombat out of nowhere. It's like, it's not our birthday. It's not Christmas. This makes no sense. There shouldn't be a new game here. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Like you were looking at your brother like, is your report card good? Was my report card good?
Did we earn this?
Is it
like,
your birthday?
For any reason?
This is not my birthday.
Yeah, our birthdays are 4 days apart in October, and it's like it's March. Like, why is she holding a game? This doesn't make any sense.
I love the idea that you get very suspicious. Like,
yeah, immediately.
she's up to
It's like, wow, thanks, Mom. Wait a minute. Why?
It's just a learning game.
Someone's dead, aren't they?
All right, whose yard do we have to clean?
Exactly. What's the catch?
Where's the dog?
I love the idea that she buys like a copy of Simiant and swaps the label out.
Oh my god.
Dude, that would have been diabolical if she really did her research. Like, she used 1993 Google to be like, what's the shittiest thing I could buy these kids? And then bought some labels and, really fucked us. But no, I mean, I love the idea of David's mom being in, like, fucking, Kmart and just being like, oh, you want the game? Yeah, toss it in. Like, that would have blown my fucking mind.
Me too,
And it
dude.
blew my fucking mind.
That occasionally
And-
worked on, like, baseball cards or something, like,
Yeah,
not games.
yeah.
right?
Hell no.
Yeah, pack of magic cards? Sure. A video game? No.
No.
But the game is fun because you're basically like there's an intro cutscene where like an evil army is invading, but it's all very cutesy, and like one band of resistance manages to steal one tank. So you're like this one tank against the world.
I was gonna
And
ask, does the tank have a name?
Tracks.
Okay, just I thought maybe that was just not the name of the game, but I was like, let it be like Tanky the Tank or something like that. Something
Tank
real
Hill.
cute.
But you go through it's a basic kind of scrolling shooter. You can control your character. The one kind of downside is it's a tank game on the Game Boy. So the D-pad moves you, one button fires, and then the other button turns your turret. So if you want to shoot like slightly to the right, you push the button once. If you want to shoot slightly to the left, you have to push the button 7 times to completely rotate your turret around
Yeah.
to be able to shoot that way.
Oh.
But it does get easier because there are power-ups. There's a missile power-up that's like anti-armor. There's a spread shot that shoots like 3 shots out. There's a bomb power-up that you shoot it and like halfway down the screen it explodes, so you make this explosion down the rest of the screen. And then there's a power-up that shoots in front of you and behind you, and it doesn't seem super useful until you realize that like you can position your turret sideways and then basically just go up the screen and shoot anything on either side of you. So it does become useful if you think about it. Like initially you're like, nothing's coming behind me, this is dumb. But as you rotate your turret, it's like, wait, I can shoot all around me at all times. This is awesome.
Yes. That sounds good for like a Game Boy shooting game. I didn't even think 8 directions would be in the mix. Figured it'd be 4 directions and no field of view because it's the Game Boy. Like, you can shoot the thing that's in front of you. That's it. Yeah. Shoot that. It's there. Press the
Is it a
button.
first-person shooter or is it like a top-down shooter?
It's a top-down shooter.
First-person shooter on Game Boy?
It exists.
Yeah, Faceball 2000. Look it up.
Okay.
It
I'll take
supports
your
up
word
to
for it.
16 players.
How close do you have to be with all those friends and all those link cables?
It's like a
But
big
the-
daisy chain.
The main character. Damn it, Jesse. The main character it's a pretty small sprite, but the bosses are fairly large and very intricate, and they have that like early Nintendo wacky design. Like there was a helicopter boss who would take off its blades and then use those as like a shield to deflect your shots. There was a dragon with punching gloves. There was one boss that I distinctly remember who was basically a giant sphere that would split open and then like shoot at you from there. So as you like shot the sphere, it was all a giant shield. You had to wait until it opened to get to the weak spot. And then there was a boss, the third level, I think, was a cave. And the end boss of that was a clown. And I don't know why, but it was just like a giant robotic clown head that would come out. And then like a hammer would kind of pop out and like a stretchy arm. And I could understand like, oh, we're going to make all these like mecha robots to fight you. Make one a clown, whatever. But why you put that in a cave? Like, I don't necessarily understand.
It's in line with Japanese mythology. There's
those
a lot of clown caves over there.
Oh my god.
Those people are very serious because they had to spend their lives avoiding clown-filled caves.
I mean, I believe we'll have to see if we can get him on the show, but our good friend Shiggy, I believe that's why he created the first Legend of Zelda. He was exploring caves, looking for clowns, and thought, I should make a fantasy game.
Right. And you can't tell me that Bozo isn't a Japanese name. It is.
I'm trying to think of something scarier than a cave full of clowns, and I honestly can't.
Hell no. Of course
I
not.
mean,
even if you're in a tank, a cave filled with clowns is terrifying.
Yeah. That new It movie looks like so crazy.
It's basically
God,
the
imagine
opposite
if
of
it
a,
involves a tank.
Yeah.
It's basically the opposite of a clown car. Instead of a tiny space filled with clowns, it's a large space filled with clowns. Meaning you get way more clowns crammed in there.
I just
Clowns fill the space of whatever they're occupying. They're a gas.
I thought you were going to say that instead of a clown car, it was a clown tank, and a tank rolls up, the hatch opens up, and then clowns just pour out of it.
Oh, God.
Also a nightmare.
So
there
many
is a
nightmares.
clown tank in that Growl game.
Jesus.
God, I'm going to have a tough time sleeping tonight.
Tough
All
time
these-
doing something tonight.
All these clown nightmares.
So anyway, let's get out of the clown cave. David, is there anything else to say about tracks?
No, it is a very fun game, and if you can track it down, which I'm sure you can from your local corner store, give it a play. Trax is awesome.
Hey, he's right. So Jesse's got a commanding lead going into this final game. Let's see what happens.
Game 5.
All right, guys. So, trivia for this one. Excuse me. Reviews of this game were mixed when it came to the newly added team mechanics, but were largely positive on the overall gameplay, with some calling it a pure action-packed experience more so than its predecessors. All right, guys. Who's feeling fantastic?
Yes.
I'm feeling great, but I know the answer.
Hey, that's David, all right, baby. Jessie says Tekken Tag Tournament, which is unfortunately incorrect. Johnny has the correct answer. This is Sonic Heroes!
Sonic Heroes.
Oh, I didn't think I would actually try to sing that. That was a mistake. Man, Sonic Heroes.
Was Sonic Heroes the
Speaking
first?
of mistakes,
Was this the first Sonic game on not a Sega console? Well, wait. No, I guess not.
No.
I think this was like the first mainline Sonic game that was multi-platform, maybe?
This was the first Sonic game on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. I don't feel like looking up right now what preceded this on the GameCube, but something did.
Probably Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Oh, yeah, like Adventure 2 Battle, yeah.
First new Sonic game not on a handheld and not on a Sega console.
Right. Definitely
Yeah,
not a
because the
handheld.
Neo Geo Pocket Color had the Sonic Pocket Adventure.
Hell
2.
yeah.
That game's awesome.
So anyway, Sonic Heroes, man, what a game. Am
I
right,
love
folks?
I love game like milestone games with a giant list of qualifiers.
Oh yeah, Sonic's got that, baby. Johnny, did you ever actually play Sonic Heroes?
No, it did not look very good. So
You ought to be fucking ashamed of yourself, Sonic boy. How could you?
Yeah, I think
Jesse-
everything after
Jesse, what about
Adventure
you?
kind of fell off the map for me.
Jesse,
Didn't
did
you
you ever
play?
pick
I
up?
thought you enjoyed Adventure 2.
No, I never beat it.
Okay.
You're wrong. I don't.
I was really thrown off by Sonic Adventure 2 because I felt like the cutscenes all ended at weird times and were like the pacing was odd, and that was enough to make me like, I don't know if I like this. Like,
Man, you want to talk about weird cutscenes? Let's talk about Sonic Heroes. So do you know the main crux of this game? Then is that there's 4 different teams that you play with, and you go through the game playing as various teams, and I think the teams are actually like meant to be more easy or more difficult depending on which one you pick. 3 of these teams Fine by me. One of these teams, big fucking mistake here. So Johnny, can you speculate, or do you know who's the team of 3 that would be Sonic team?
Sonic, Tails, Knuckles.
That's correct. Jessie, would you like to say who is on team Dark?
Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
The Rogue the Bat.
Rouge, yes.
Rouge the Bat. And that Robotnik robot thing.
Yep, E123 Omega. He's right. David.
Surprise lightning round.
David, do you know who's on Team Rose?
Amy Rose. I'm going to say Big the Cat and then Cream the Rabbit, maybe?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the final team making their first appearance in quite some time.
I want to guess.
Go for it.
Vector Crocodile, Espio the Chameleon, Charmy B.
Team K, baby, they're back. They're not the ones I have a problem with. Those guys are fine. It's Team Rose, man. What the hell? Like, who wants to play a game as Amy?
Uh-oh. Hold on a second, guys. Shit, hold on. Hey, stop. I don't know if they can see me. Okay. 1 second. Okay, that was weird. So, like, my screens all just turned black and your audio went out. It was really strange.
Spooky.
And then it came back, and I couldn't hear you guys. So
weird.
So what's the last thing you remember?
You had just started about Team Rose.
Yeah, it's almost a comedically bad team of things that feels like some kind of punishment to have to play as. Like, Johnny, you're a big fan of Big the Cat.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah? Okay,
no,
cool.
I fucking hate that guy.
I was going to say, I'm going to pause for like 2 seconds just to give you a clean edit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I would play through the game as Amy Rose. Like, you have the hedgehog speed, you have a giant hammer for like a melee attack. Like, I could see that as entertaining. Big the Cat, maybe he's got a fishing pole. Like, you could do some grapple attacks. Like, possibly. Cream the Rabbit is useless.
Yeah.
Straight up, like, Cream is useless. So, like,
Poor
why?
Poor little Cream. Oh, it's exhausting. But yeah, so anyway, each team, there's a speed character, a flying character, and a strength character. So, each team has those 3 elements to it. So it's kind of the same stuff no matter who you play as, but like the teams have different wrinkles to them and different story interactions and things like that. I got some cutscenes saved if you want to hear some fantastic voice acting.
Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
Like the scene where Team Rose runs across Team Chaotix.
Excuse me, miss. I was wondering if I could ask you something.
If it's about a date, it'll have to wait.
Date? You think this is a joke, you little brat?
Now hand over that chow nice and easy.
I bet you're the ones who took chocolate chow.
What?
It's not nice to tease my friends.
Yeah, time to rock and roll.
Oh, this shit's exhausting.
This is incredible.
Was
I love
Amy
how-
played by Fran Drescher?
I hope so.
I love how based on just the sound, I could tell exactly which character is which. It's like the incredibly demure, like, I don't think that's Cream. Oh,
Yes.
it's me. Okay, there's Big.
It's me, the big fucking lummox. Oh, look, it's Big the Cat. No, it's just bizarre, man. Like, this was my first time ever hearing a Big the Cat cutscene. I'm like, wait, is that what Johnny was complaining about all those years ago?
Yeah.
Like, what the god damn it is going on here? Like, it's terrible. But yeah, so they have like obviously team versions of each cutscene. So let me just play a little bit of each one. This is from when you fight a Dr. Eggman mini boss, and it turns out not to be. It's an Eggman robot, not actual Dr. Eggman. So here's Team Sonic's cutscene.
Once again, you fools have been tricked.
It's a fake?
From these
That's Tails.
watch as I conquer the world with my air fleet, and this time you can't stop me.
Drat, a trap to stall for time. Sonic!
It's not an Eggman robot. Sonic! Knuckles! Wait for me!
All life form data successfully copied.
Ooh. So yeah, that points to another thing that I need to bitch about. They got an actual 8-year-old to play Tails.
That's what I was about to ask. Like, does somebody's kid play Tails? Because it really
Yes.
sounds like somebody's kid
That's
plays.
Somebody's fucking kid plays Tails, and it's like you didn't want to hire I'm not saying you got to hire like Nancy Cartwright, who's an adult that can play a fucking kid, but like, why'd you get an actual fucking kid to play this? Is Tails canonically 8? Like,
I mean,
I don't
maybe?
get it. Yeah. Fuck Tails if he's an 8-year-old. I hate it.
Whoa, John, that's gross.
Not what I meant. Yeah.
We've had so many weird statements on tonight's show.
Anyway, so yeah, same scene, Team Dark.
I'll say.
Shadow?
Let's go.
Ultimate life form data has been copied.
Yep. So pretty standard video game style cutscene, normalish voices. Team Chaotix.
Good job, boys. Guess that Eggman was a fake after all.
Of course it was.
Oh?
Listen carefully. There's a jungle just to the north.
Oh, they have a walkie-talkie.
Immediately.
Got it.
You know what? Our client sure seems to know a lot about this Dr. Eggman guy.
Definitely an agent. A relative, perhaps. Strangely enough, I had the same weird feeling about our client's real identity. It could be you-know-who.
Yeah, also, I didn't realize the Chaotix ran a detective agency, but apparently that's what they do.
Oh, yeah.
um,
Didn't you
I
watch
didn't
the
realize
anime?
that SBO's voice was that low.
It varies wildly from scene to scene, actually. And finally, the one that definitely sounds like a perfectly normal video game cutscene and makes perfect sense, Team Rose.
Hey, it's just a stupid copy.
Froggy, where are you? Let's go home.
Cheese, what's wrong? Oh, no. Yes. A chow nappy. But why? I'm not really sure, but betcha Dr. Eggman has something to do with it, and we're not gonna let him get away with it. Come on, let's get out of here.
Okie dokie.
God damn it.
Let's get out of here and find Mr. Sheffield.
Jeez. There's so many things wrong with this team. Like, Cream is apparently just some sad sack rabbit who's, I don't know. I don't even know what a chow is, and I don't want to get into it. But like, there's been a chow napping, and despite what's going on in the scene, Big the Cat is just talking about that goddamn frog.
That tracks.
I mean, is he like the fucking Groot of the series?
Yes.
Like, no matter what's going on, he's looking for a frog.
Of all the things happening in that scene, that's the one part that actually is consistent and makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a game with plot going on. There's robots and mysterious stuff happening,
Yeah.
and who knows what's going on behind the scenes. Ultimately, it's Metal Sonic, and all that fucking cat cares about is that frog. Like,
just like Sonic Adventure 1.
I mean,
the exact same thing.
You do know that Big the Cat is the Lenny of Mice and Men of the Sonic universe, right? Like
I've learned that by researching Sonic Heroes. What a mess. It's
Oh
yeah, no,
no, Sonic crushed my froggy. Ugh.
that's seriously
What a mess.
all it is.
God, I really like the Sonic Heroes director's cut.
Anyway, I hate this. The game looks vaguely fun, but it's like you have to control 3 characters at the same time, and you know it's early 2000s Sonic stuff, so no, it's probably not very much fun. But it's got a cool soundtrack, man. Trivia question also, or trivia fact. It's the only Sonic game in which the title theme is the name of the game. Sonic Heroes theme from Sonic Heroes. So, yeah, think about it. But yeah, so it's got that fun Crush 40 shit, and it's cool. It's colorful and kind of fun. In the end, yes, the main villain is Metal Sonic, and he's like sucked up everybody's DNA, so he turns into like a Metal Sonic, like fucking Godzilla monster. So it's pretty crazy.
I seem to remember like this being the game where Metal Sonic is the final boss and turns into like a giant 3-story robot monster.
Yes. And then he gets beaten by, I think there's a cutscene where it's like, if only if we had all the Chaos Emeralds, we could beat him. Everybody then pulls a Chaos Emerald out of their pocket, which I assume you acquire by playing through the 4 unique story paths.
Yep.
And then this is like the true ending. And I'm like, oh man, this predictable. What do you know? They all have the Chaos Emeralds.
Just like Sonic Adventure, exact same thing.
God damn it. But yeah, it's really something. And so score, David, are we doing that lightning round? Let's do a behind the scenes talk. We doing it?
Are we doing our behind the scenes talk on camera?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's 3-2. We giving Johnny a shot at this thing with a lightning round?
I don't have control of a soundboard. Otherwise, I would have played the clip.
No, don't play it yet. I think we got one last thing coming up. So to take us into the lightning round, let's hear that Sonic Heroes ending cutscene. A little taste of everything from the game.
It's no use. But why can't I defeat you?
Because we're Sonic Heroes. Anytime you want a rematch, just let me know. I'll be waiting.
Hey, Sonic, wait up! Sorry to leave like this, but I can't let my Sonic get wet.
Good luck,
Sonic sure has his hands full.
I guess I'm out of here too. I think I'll go hunt for someone else's.
She never gives up, does she? Oh, no, you don't. Wait!
Yes, that's it for this case.
Guess so.
But what about our buddy?
Man, I almost forgot. That's Slime Ball!
All right! Our next adventure awaits us, so there's no time to waste. Yeah! We're Sonic Heroes!
Lightning round! Quick question. Did they have J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson as Vector Crocodile? Because that's what that sounded like.
Yeah, totally. Oh, I forgot to get pictures of Spider-Man.
Oh, you beat me to it.
I thought it was a Spider-Man. Anyway, David, take us into the lightning round.
So we've got our lightning round. Before I get to the lightning round, I have our special commemorative GTT coin. So, Johnny, as reigning king, you get to call it in the air. Heads or tails?
Heads.
It is tails. So Jessie will be going first in our lightning round. And this lightning round, it is August absurdity. I am shirtless. It is hot. It is summer. So everybody is going down to get a nice relaxing dip in the beach. So I am going to give you the name of a beach level and the year from the game it was released. You have to give me the name of the game. Are we ready?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, Jesse, you're up first. Kanzuki Beach, 2016.
Breath of the Wild.
That is sadly incorrect. The correct answer is Street Fighter V.
Hmm.
All right, Johnny, you are up next with Shell Shock, 1993.
Turtles in Time.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Cool Spot.
Oh.
Jesse,
Tricky.
1986, Coconut Beach.
Coconut Beach. Star Tropics.
Sadly incorrect. That is Outrun.
Oh.
Johnny, 2002, Gelato Beach.
Super Mario Sunshine?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right, Jesse, Tropical Resort Zone, 2010.
Sonic the Hedgehog 4.
Sadly incorrect. That was Sonic Colors.
Oh.
Johnny, Summers from 1995.
Summers from 1995. Oh, man. Cool Spot.
It's all beach levels.
Sadly incorrect. That is Earthbound.
Uh,
All right, Jesse, Ice Cream Islands from 1993.
Kirby's Adventure.
That is correct.
Nice.
man.
All right, Johnny, Vespucci Beach from 2013.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
Mario Kart 7?
Sadly incorrect. That was
Close.
so close. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
God, that game's that old? Oh, wow.
Jesse,
Hell yeah.
Costa del Sol from 1997.
Oh, Final Fantasy 8.
Sadly incorrect.
Oh,
that
no,
was
no,
Final
no.
Fantasy 7.
Oh. 99.99, my man.
Yeah.
Johnny, from 2011, Mako Woohoo.
Mako Woohoo. Oh, Sega Bass Fishing 10.
That is incorrect. That is Mario Kart 7.
Oh,
Wow.
Hold
on. Is that the only recent Mario Kart game that John owns because he has a 3DS?
Yes.
Tell me you own Mario Kart.
I own Mario Kart 7.
Awesome.
God, I thought that was going to be a giveaway. Jesse, from 2002, Destiny Islands.
2002.
Destiny Islands.
Wind Waker.
Sadly incorrect. That was from Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh, fuck.
Also known as Kingdom Hearts.
And finally, for Johnny, 2012, Eternal Paradise.
2012 Beach.
Yes.
Eternal Paradise. I'm gonna say Eternal Paradise, the game.
That would have been such a dick move to find a game named after a beach level. No, that is Tekken Tag Tournament 2. So, closing out our lightning round, I thought that was going to go a lot better. Jesse and Johnny both score an extra point.
Yes. Well, it's decided. Johnny, turn on the calculating computer.
Calculating computer activated. Computers. Beeps.
Space!
Boops. Scoring complete. This game's winner is... Jessie Moore.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Jesse, just say whatever you want. You put the scourge of King Johnny behind us to start August Absurdity.
So it's going to be at least one of us three. And
Yeah,
that
good.
makes me feel good. That it's not going to be him.
What a night, man. What a good game, good show, man. I think this was a lot of fun. And Johnny, actually a surprisingly competent opponent for the most part. Kept it close. He's deceptive, man. That's the thing. Johnny pulls out he'll pull out some tricks and win some games. But not this year, man. Thank God. The last thing anybody needed was another August Absurdity Finals with Johnny in it. So Johnny, you may now you may now give your concession speech.
Well,
hey, about that dick tattoo.
There's a request from Jaded Gamer in the chat to add someday to your dick tattoo.
Yeah, I don't know what's worse, this dick tattoo or that time John made the whole win thing and then it didn't win. I feel like mine is better because nobody else gets to see the dick tattoo if they don't want to.
Classic whataboutism. Turning it on me, huh?
If I can interrupt for a second, I feel like the dick tattoo is worse because you have to add someday, but you're clearly out of room.
Oh!
Wow.
Got you, dude. Oh, man.
Whoa.
Anyway.
God damn, if that's not a Mario 2 sound.
Oh, wait, no, that's not it. There we go.
Oh, hell yeah. So anyway, excellent game tonight, fellas. Jesse, I'm very proud of you. Johnny, we give you a lot of shit, but you put up a good effort. So great game. A lot of fun. Thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you to everybody making requests. Thank you to everybody that tuned in with us for August Absurdity. This has just been the first round, and we'll be back next week with me and David going head to head. Johnny and Jesse picking 5 games, turning the tables, as it were. So I think we did a good job, a tasteful, thorough, kind of up and down, difficult, not too difficult. A good August Absurdity challenge, so they won't need to turn the tables so hard on us and just fuck us completely over next week. So I'm kissing the royal ass a little bit because Johnny is still technically king until someone deposes him thoroughly. But yeah, this next week it's gonna be fun. So yeah, tune in next week. We're live every Wednesday night. Twitch.tv/GameThatTune, YouTube.com/GameThatTune, Facebook.com/GameThatTune. We're in podcast form the following Wednesdays. Check us out there. Thanks to everybody checking out Patreon.com/GameThatTune. We really appreciate it. It's the home for our awesome exclusives. We've got covered ups, we've got mixtapes, we've got GTT gems, we've got I guess a hotline now that you can call and leave voicemails for the show. So if you want to be featured on the show, hit us up on Patreon. We'll give you them numbers, and you can just call us, and we'll play your voice on the show. And yeah, it's we're having a lot of fun. We really appreciate the support. Special thanks to our super fan tier producers: Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Daniel Perky, all fantastic fellas, and we appreciate your support of the show. And let's see. Yeah, our request tonight came in through our Discord server, so check us out there. Go to GameThatTune.com, find our Discord link, join us, chat along with us. We really enjoy you guys chatting with us. Or you can hit us with requests, GameThatTune@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter @GameThatTune, or you can find us individually on Twitter. I am there @JGangsta187. You can find David Fleming on Twitter
DFD Fleming.
You can find John Regan, tonight's loser, on Twitter
JP Regan Jr.
And you can find Jessie Moore, tonight's fantastic winner. I feel like it hasn't been said with enough enthusiasm, on Twitter
Sega_legend.
Hell yeah, motherfucker. So, Jesse, you've got bonus tunes for tonight. What are you celebrating your victory with?
So I recently found this Megaran song where he samples Astyanax, which is an interesting NES game.
Interesting.
And it's a really, really fucking killer song. I mean, it's Megaran, so it's called The Rock.
My man Megaran. Great game tonight, Jesse. Peace out, everybody.
Dumb rappers need teaching. Okay, so two rappers come out the jewelry store with their two bling chains on, right? And they go into the car, it's a Mustang. And when they get there, they realize that they locked the keys in the car. So they're fiddling with the lock for hours trying to pick it. So suddenly the guy that owns it says, "Yo, hurry up, it's about to rain." And I've left the top down. Yeah, know that I possess the rhyme to stretch your mind with beats by a hexagon. We gon' rock to the rhythm, don't stop till it hit 'em. Word. And plus I got the streets and the cons and the geeks and the dons on the beats and the rhymes. If you seek, you can find. We gon' rock to the rhythm, don't stop till it hit 'em. Word. Yes sir. Yeah, who get them lump sums? Why these rappers bump gums? And Randall drop his front page like a bus plunge, trying to put a little something in the trust fund, and at the same time just had some fun. What would happen if Maya and Koji Kondo made a baby in the 80s and studied the rhyme flow of KRS? Then went off to college at the same time, played Final Fantasy and leveled up to 99. At the shows I get pounds and handshakes. I call them my family, you call them a fan base. Rand makes music people can relate to. I looked in the mirror when I was young, it told me stay true. Whack shows from Rand are like Nokias. No matter how hard you look, you won't see it. Cal Ripken a spittin', no days off, I can't afford to be missing. And all of y'all thugs with computers look foolish, foolish. You kick-ass rappers are shoeless and just clueless, lurking in the forum just to see who responded. Constantly up in your post so folks can comment. Man, that's nonsense, stop it and watch. When you do blow up, reserve a spot on your yacht. In the meanwhile, gotta make them scream loud. Critics are happy like John Coffey, walking a green mile and rock. Yeah, know that I possess the rhyme to stretch your mind with beats by a hexagon. We gon' rock to the rhythm, don't stop till it hit 'em. Word. And plus I got the streets and the cons and the geeks and the dons on the beats and the rhymes. If you seek, you can find. We gon' rock to the rhythm, one more. Rock to the rhythm, don't stop till it hit 'em. Word. Yes, in the name of the most magnificent, Rand ripping it, antithesis of the whack, mad different. I come off like a
Kid Chameleon is copyright 1992, Sega Games Company Limited. The Goonies 2 is copyright 1987, Konami Company Limited. Bravely Default is copyright 2014, Silicon Studio Company Limited and Nintendo of America Incorporated. Trax is copyright 1991, HAL Laboratory Incorporated. Sonic Heroes is copyright 2004, Sega Games Company Limited.